Sobriety, day 22. And honestly, what a moment this truly is. We are now 3 whole weeks into this. And 3 whole weeks have gone just like that. And before you know it, we'll be down to 4 weeks. And then, a matter of days, it will be an entire month. Not even so much as a drop has passed these lips. But of lately, and it's all well and good, there's other things going on in my mind that I feel like, should I worry about them? Do I need to think about them? What could happen if I don't do anything about it? Stuff like that. In particular, like the things that are going on in Europe. Because for those who don't know, I keep my ear very close to the ground when it comes to things going on overseas. I'm quite involved in in my foreign news and whatnot, especially within Europe. And I did a video before where I talked about the horrors of what's going on in Sudan right now, because they're in the middle of a very, very bloody civil war. But as Europe once again sliding towards the direction of war, because it was mentioned earlier this week that apparently Putin, if the whole of Europe was ready to go to war against Putin, then Putin literally said, bring it on. Now, the Germans are trying to reintroduce national service to their way of life. Although the only resistance they face is quite a lot of Gen Zers openly demonstrating against it. They don't want to have anything to do with war. Which, I wonder if it's the sort of tide, like a wave that's going to ripple through the rest of Europe. Or maybe there won't be any war. Again, I'm not entirely sure if it's the sort of thing I should be looking too seriously into this sort of thing. However, there have been other situations before where, quite frankly, I should have been more vocal in terms of thinking this is going to be a disaster. Up to and including the very first, on the 10th of January of 2020, the very first time I heard of this thing called the coronavirus. Personally, I should have absolutely have screamed it to the heavens that there was going to be a disaster incoming. But because I didn't, although I don't know exactly what effect I could have had by screaming it from the rooftops, well, look at what's happened. Surprisingly, this is, I think, what you might call a fairly sobering thought. Not really the sort of time to get bladdered, more the time to get switched on.